Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about Batwoman Season 3, Episode 3. So the episode kicks off with a little boy taking some kind of canister onto the bus to go show his friend. The friend is busy and can't look at the moment, and then that little boy is like, come on, take a look, and that young girl says, chill out! And lo and behold, the canister opens up. We are seeing it from outside the bus, and it freezes the entire bus and encases it in ice. So we already know that canister belonged to the one and only Mr. Freeze. Shortly after that, we go to a scene where, we're seeing Ryan talking to her mother, Jada, and I'm just very curious where that whole storyline is going to go. I think Jada made a very interesting comment to Ryan, telling her that if you have anything to do with my family, to leave us alone, but Ryan is your family, so, that's kind of awkward, but, hopefully we'll learn more about what's happened there, what went on there. We also learned that Ryan has a brother, and that her mom, continued on having a family, so it'll be interesting to see how Ryan navigates those feelings throughout this season. Gotta say, I enjoy Alice having, just as much presence with this Bat team as she did in the previous seasons. Just sitting there on top of a panel in the Bat Cave, complaining about feeling itchy with the nano bots that are in her system. One thing that I thought was pretty cool, we get introduced to this older lady, and her name is Nora, and I just thought, wow, what a great tie-in. And no, it's not Nora West Allen from The Flash, it's not Nora Allen from Barry Running Back in Time, it's not Speed Force Nora, it is Nora Freeze. And for those who don't know, Nora Freeze is the whole reason why Mr. Freeze is a thing. She had a disease or genetic disorder, and he froze her to try to find new medications or a vaccine for what was going on so she could live. So it turns out she did get out of the ice, and we learned throughout the season that one of the things that Mr. Freeze didn't predict is when she did come out, she aged rapidly right after. She was frozen in time, but time quickly caught back up to her, which is something I never thought about, but also Mr. Freeze couldn't have anticipated that or predicted that as well. One of the things that I found interesting with this episode is a friendship seems to be forming between Alice and Mary. I find that so funny and interesting, just with everything that has gone on between those characters. But really kind of Alice with all the characters of the Bat family. There's some kind of negative interaction there, but we'll see how that pans out as the season continues. And I really like both of those characters, so I love any moment that they do have to interact with each other. They really have some good banter. Alice calling out Mary for liking Luke, that's just classic. But also Alice pointing out to Mary that she's not respected on the team, which I think caught Mary by surprise, but Alice brought up the point, they don't see you unless they need you. But I really think Mary will take that to heart as the season continues. We got to see a fight scene near the cryo chamber, where, Ryan as Batwoman was taking on these very interesting villains of the episode that were collecting the freezing agent, or the Mr. Freeze agent, for somebody. We don't know who. I have a suspicion it's for Ryan's mom, but we'll see as the season goes out or continues on. Alice really wants the nanobots out of her system. Mary won't do it, so Alice holds a knife to Nora, and it was the funniest interaction because she goes to hold it to Nora, completely forgets her name, and is like, oh yeah, if you won't get these nanobots out of my system, holds the knife. She goes, then I'll cut Nora! Her throat. I thought that was pretty funny. just because she forgot her name. We got a cool visual from inside the cryo chamber because Batwoman gets knocked out and put in there. We see Batwing fighting those goons and villains that I was mentioning before, fighting them from inside while it was freezing over, which was a pretty cool effect. I'm very proud of Mary in this episode for saying something to Luke's condition about the group. I know that was hard, but go Mary. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And two things that I'll talk about to conclude this episode is, one, Poison Ivy's vines grabs Mary and pulls her into the bushes, so I'll be curious to see what that's about. Why Mary specifically, or is it a coincidence? Who knows? Maybe it has something to do with Desert Rose, for all we know. But also, Ryan and a Sophie ship? That is not something I ever thought about before. And I don't know if I like it or not. I gotta really think about that. But once again, great episode from Batwoman. So if you like this episode or have any comments, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.